to see two young poets among us.
To see who?
Two young poets among us.
Yes, yes.
I just saw it now.
Okay,
Welcome.
so here we go, people. Good evening or good morning or good afternoon, depending on where you are. To all of you here assembled for the joint Voices Israel Awards event for our 2 annual poetry competitions. I'm recording this event, as I said. I'm recording each competition event separately. We'll put the Zoom recordings up on our YouTube channel, and we'll send the link out to everyone who registered for the event and to our general membership. So first, to Mr. and Mrs. Joseph, our sponsors of the Bar Sagi Young Poets Prize, and to our fellow poets young and old, and to all the friends, relatives and guests with us tonight, welcome to this awards event for the 3rd Bar Sagi Young Poets Prize. As we all know, this competition commemorates a talented young Israeli poet, Bar Sagi, who died tragically of cancer at the age of 15. Her grandparents, Professor Anthony Joseph and his wife Denise, decided to commemorate her by sponsoring a poetry competition for students aged 12 to 19 who write poetry in English. Voices Israel has been delighted to collaborate with Professor Joseph by organizing and judging the competition, which is now in its 3rd year. We hope it will encourage high school students to write poetry in English like Bar. And welcome especially to our talented young poets, the prize winners Hila and Eliav and Amiad Dror, who may not be able to be present with us, and a double welcome to Hila, because she received both first prize and an honorable mention for another of her poems. But we are so happy to have all of you with us. We look forward to hearing you read your poems. Congratulations. Please don't be nervous, you are among friends. In fact, we hope that soon, after you have gone on writing poetry for a few years, you will even join our community of English language poets. When we hold an awards ceremony face-to-face, of course, we at this point invite each winner to accept his or her prize and certificate from the competition administrator, but there is a limit to what Zoom can do. So I am going to screen share the certificates and which had to be mailed to you. You should all have received your prizes and your certificates. We can at least show everyone what the certificates look like. Okay, that is the first prize certificate to Hila and the second prize certificate to Eliav. And we'll stop sharing till the next time. I'd like to thank the competition's 3 judges, Susan Bell, Itamar Bloomfield, and Amiel Schotz, who had the hopefully enjoyable task of reading all the entries and deciding between them. I'd also like to thank Mark Levinson, the longtime administrator of the Reuben Rose competition, who acted as the technical advisor for the Bar Sagi Prize. To all of you, you're a wonderful team. Thank you so much. Okay. Special thanks are due to Susan Bell also in her role as the contest administrator, a job she's performed with both efficiency and grace. And finally, a big thank you to the English teachers who I hoped would be here, but I guess most of them are not, who encouraged their pupils to send in poems. And now I will hand over to Professor Joseph, who will say a few words and has also asked me to screen share his presentation and then 2 lovely video clips based on Bar's poems set to music. I know that we will enjoy them. So going back to the screen share. Sorry, it was left in the wrong place. Tony, are you with us?
Yes, I'm with you, yes.
Okay.
So press the buttons to move the images, or will I press buttons to
I'll
move
press the buttons because I'm screen sharing. I don't think your
Okay.
pressing buttons will have any effect whatsoever.
Okay. Well, first of all, let me thank you all in the Voices Israel. Thanks to your efforts, we are now celebrating the third ceremony for the Bar Sagi Young Poets Prize. As before, this is combined with a more senior Reuben Rose competition. I said unfortunately, but anyway, COVID has forced the organizers to resort to Zoom. Yet this has had the happy consequence of gathering a wide audience from all over the world. Let me first congratulate the winners. Now here, I seem to have been given the wrong first name. It's Hilla Frumkin, am I
Well,
correct?
Hila is her real name, but Sapir is her pen name. So it was the one
Oh.
she used when she sent in the poems.
I see. Well, our president, the president of the Weizmann Institute, says that we should use gender neutral terminology, so we won't know whether speaking to a man or a woman, or a girl or a boy. Anyway, I would congratulate Hilla Frumkin on the first prize, Eliav Hupert on the second prize, and Amiad Dror Golan for the third prize, on their success to get these prizes, of course. They will all receive a copy of Bar's poetry book, which is called See Me Soar and Spread My Wings. It was published by Gvanim, which immediately went bankrupt. I don't know if it was because of Bar's poetry. So a first edition now will be worth its weight in gold. And hopefully, I will in fact get your addresses. I don't actually have your mailing addresses, but
I did send them to you, Tony. I did send them to you. They'll be in your mail somewhere.
Okay, and I will fight in the post office for my turn, since I'm now nearly 80 and I don't have to wait in the queue, except that not all the tellers know that. Anyway, hopefully you'll all, and in particular the prize winners, will read and reread Bar's powerful verse, full of wisdom, born of deep suffering. Be inspired and comforted, perhaps indeed by the couplet, let the days of sun, let the days of rain warm you and wash away the pain. Or during a sleepless night of fears, attain rest through the memorable words, you'll see better by the dawn light. Or undergoing a dangerous operation, I just want to get it over and done. I want to see tomorrow's setting sun. Finally, should bitter tears stream down to their lips, remember Bar's inspired verse. My hands are filled with tears. They are full to the brim. I taste pain, fear, and sadness. They're so disgusting and grim. This has been set to music by Leo Zoltz and Slee Rubenstein in Teenage Girl. And some of you remember that we played it last year.
Yes.
Over the past 5 years, I have received hundreds of words of praise for Bar's poetry. Maybe it went a little bit to my head. Yet let me just quote from Dvorah Weizmann, noted author and columnist, who you might have read in the Jerusalem Post. I was very touched by her beautiful verse. What an amazing young woman she was, and how tragic that she passed so young. She could have finished up with a Nobel Prize for Literature. This comment followed by sending Dvorah a 1.5 hour presentation of Bar's work at the Jewish Book Week in London in late February 2022. We engaged a young actress, Elizabeth Hollingshead, to read from Bar's prose and poetry. She gave a wonderful rendering. It can be downloaded through the link. And this is, you can actually just go to Jewish Book Week, and probably if you're clever enough, you can find it without actually having to write down all this stuff. I urge you all to I urge you all to view it and pass it on to your friends. That's really important, so you'll see it all. 2 more Bar Sagi prize giving ceremonies are planned this year. One at Barilan University on the 30th of May, and the second at Tel Aviv University on the 8th of June. They are to be live with music and refreshments, though one can be never sure of anything nowadays. I'm saying this because in that way, you may be able to receive Bar's poetry book by pre-ordering through me. I just don't want to go into the post office every 10 minutes. So I would like to be able to hand them out. The proceeds are destined for further prizes. There will also be free copies of the many pamphlets we have prepared for the prizes and the Jewish Book Week. The officers have already received these pamphlets, and I think they will attest that they're very beautiful. Bar's 2 full-length novels are also available on Amazon. The premature death of Bar at just 15 years old was a threefold tragedy. First, for Bar herself, taken away so young, having barely tasted life. Secondly, her family. For Denise and myself, Bar was our only granddaughter who could now have given us much solace. Thirdly, for the entire world who caught just a glimpse of what might have been. Bar's fond wish was to see her poems set to music. Indeed, many of Bar's poems were written to be presented in this form. We were fortunate enough to have pianist and composer Leo Zoltz and singer Tzlil Rubenstein for this task, and we spared no expense in engaging them. The songs appear in YouTube under the general title of Echoes of Bar. Unfortunately, that mixes up with Echoes of War, which is very pertinent at the moment. You put down Echoes of Bar and you put one of the 4 subtitles, Journey, Hope, Teenage Girl, or Just Me, and you should get the YouTube disc. Hope is animated by Gili Sharnan. It recounts a story based on Bar's dying of bone cancer and being reincarnated as she believes she would be. The musicians expressed the opinion that this is the best animated short musical they have seen. Our president, Judy Coran, will now screen Hope and Just Me. I hope you will enjoy them. But above all, please pass the link on to all your friends. Over to you, Judy.
Thank you very much, Tony. I am now going to indeed screen share the videos from YouTube, starting with Hope. And I think you are going to very much enjoy them.
Hope like a small flower blooming in my chest, growing and growing, I don't want it to rest. Hope like a child, keep it safe and warm, bundled up against a winter storm. Keep it safe for a rainy day. Keep it safe for a rainy day. it safe for a rainy day. Keep it safe, keep it safe for a rainy day. Smart little light in a small cafe.
I think we can all agree that that is a beautiful video. And I am now going to screen share the second one. Just for hold on for a moment, because I need to go and switch it. I'm sorry, people, there's a problem here. The video doesn't stop when I click, so I'll just have to share screen and then move it back to the beginning. Okay, now we'll move it back to the beginning. The wheelhouse stop.
A happy ending waiting for me. Maybe someday there'll be
I think I know what's happening. I think
a happy ending.
it would seem that we have a double yeah. Now I understand what was happening. The first video switched automatically to the second one, and I didn't know that it would. So when I started screen sharing it again in another window, I was playing it twice. So let's hear it the way it should be heard.
Is it just me, or is it just you, or does everyone around us know what they want to do? They got this and that already in their lives. They got this and that, everything is right, a schedule for every single day. Their lives are like some kind of play, drama and romance, mystery and wonder, while I'm all alone surrounded by the thunder. It's not like I've got a problem or two. I'm just asking you, is all I'm meant to do is just to sing alone? I'm searching for a path that's not gray and dreary. I'm searching for a path that's full of mystery. I want my life to be full of energy with sparks just you? Or are we the only ones who don't know what they want to do?
I'm sure we'll all agree that those are two beautiful video clips.
May I just thank you, Judy, and urge you all to download it for yourself, since somehow Zoom distorted both the voices and the images. At least for me, I don't know, maybe my Zoom is worse than others, but
Oh dear,
really, well, that's maybe Zoom, you know, I
yeah,
mean,
no, that isn't Zoom. That was again that YouTube has was set to autoplay and I didn't notice, so it went on to the next video after that, whichever it was. It's okay, I have killed it.
okay.
Okay, so thank you very much, Tony. Thank you for sponsoring the competition. Thank you for making those beautiful video clips. I'd now like to invite the competition administrator, Susan Bell, to say a few words before we come to the hearing of the poems that won. Susan?
Yes. Good evening, everybody, particularly Professor and Mrs. Joseph, of course, and our two lovely prize winners. And I'm really sorry that the third one is not with us. What I'd like to say is that this is the third year we've held the Sagi Young Poets Prize competition. Again, it has been a revelation to see so much talent among the young. The poets could and did submit between 1 to 3 poems each. The 3 judges, myself included, chose Sapir Ila Frumkin to be awarded first prize and an honorable mention, respectively, for the 2 poems she submitted. Sapir and the other 2 prize winners, Amir Dror Golan and Eliav Rupert, certainly deserve their prizes, which I think you'll all agree with when you hear their poems presently. I should have written their names the other way around, never mind, third and second prizes. Unfortunately, Amiad cannot attend this Zoom meeting, and therefore I have the privilege of reading his poems in his stead. I hope I'll do it justice, although we would have loved to hear Amiad read his rendering of his poem. Thank you again, Professor and Mrs. Joseph, for your wonderful initiative and generous sponsorship in creating this important competition. We, Voices Israel, have been fortunate and happy in helping you bring it to fruition, and by doing so, have reaped some excellent talent here in Israel. Hopefully, we will continue to garner young wannabe Israeli poets.
Thank you very much, Susan. And now we come to the reading of the winning poems. Okay. I will try to screen share the text as the poets read. So the first thing I'm going to do again is to go back to this PDF and which was left on Tony's talk. And here we are. Can everybody see those texts all right? I'm assuming, since nobody has said, no, I can't see them, I'm assuming that you can.
Yes.
Good. Please note that if you put the, if you choose gallery view, no, I cannot see it now, but if you choose speaker view rather than gallery view as I have here, then you can change, or you can do it anyway. You can change the, I think each of you can for yourselves change the size of the screen shared text. Okay, so our first prize winner is Hila Frumkin, who chose the pen name Sapir. The poem was awarded for the prize was awarded for her poem White Noise, which is an incredibly mature and delicately portrayed description of a troubled relationship. It's hard for me to believe that she was only 15 years old when the poem was written. Let's all give her a big welcome. And Hila, I'm going to now invite you to please read your poem. Hila?
Oh, hi.
Hi.
I'm kind of nervous.
That's okay, no problem. I had a few butterflies in my stomach this afternoon myself. Go ahead, go right ahead.
I dreamt we were walking in a field, the leaves crunching beneath your feet. It sounded like scratching, and I had an itch to look down. Bone white, delicate, turning to dust. Eggshells, I wanted to tell you. Look, let's go another way instead. But I knew you knew already. Eyes on the horizon, hand in my head. So I let go, tiptoed, tried walking slow, but made a sound, eggshells breaking, loud and ugly beneath my Achilles heel. And you laughed. You know, I can feel it when you laugh at me. It's second nature by now. Sour and cold, left in the sun to rot, open in the light. I'll fight the sun. You say I always slow you down. Please teach me how to walk. Call me a baby and guide me step by step how to do anything, how to do everything all at once. I've already tried being everything. But everything is a big, loud thing, and when it walks, it shakes the mountains on the horizon. Come on, it's just a mile away, you say, or said. It's hard to remember which you is in my head. We were walking down a field, yes, yellow under a graying sky. Come on, I said, let's find shelter from the coming rain. Even though I could dance with the thunder, loud and ugly, I could spin you around and laugh until I cry. But you were gone already, always one step ahead. And for once, I didn't follow you, just stayed dancing and kicking and stopping and having the time of my life. And it felt like being home, under the watching eye of a thunderstorm.
Thank you, Hila. Lovely. I really enjoyed your reading your poem. Our second prize winner is Eliav Huppert, aged 18, and he won second prize for his poem Empty Seats, a poem which draws us slowly and surely into mystery. So let's all welcome Eliav. Eliav, are you here? You're here with us. I saw you before. Would you please read your poem?
Yes, okay. Hello. Empty seats. In the empty seat in front of me sat a man who looked vaguely familiar. I knew those eyes. I've looked at them 100 times. But the creases on his chin and the ones on his forehead were peculiar, strange. He slowly opened the windows to his soul, and two emeralds spoke louder than anything that could ever be said. He wanted to say something when I realized who he was. I had to leave. I had to run. But he said there was no use.
Thank you, Eliav. Thank you. Okay, our third prize winner is Amiad Dror Golan, age 17, for his poem Comfort. This is a powerful poem, notable for its use of metaphor. And Amiad and his guardian, who is also his high school teacher, did intend to be present, but were unhappily prevented at the last minute. So let's give a round of applause for Amiad, even though he's not here. And then the prize's administrator, Susan Bell, will read his poem. Okay. Susan?
Comfort. I'm not a bird expert, but the silhouettes of their broad wings, when darkness kicked the sun off the fields, was for me a final whistle for this glorious day, panting. At morning I saw a grey dove, buzzing with fatigue, but towards the flood that awaits, she was my sanctuary.
Thank you, Susan, and thank you very much to Amiad. And again, what a pity he wasn't here to read it himself. Sometimes these things cannot be helped. Okay, and we awarded one honorable mention also to Sapir Hila for her poem Coral. So I'm now going to invite Hila to read her poem. It could be, in my opinion, read either metaphorically or as a persona poem, a poem written from the point of view of another person, or in this case, another animal. And given Hila's command of her art, it's probably both. So let's welcome Hila or Sapir once again to read her poem, Coral.
used to stay in my home between anemones, another clownfish in the circus. And home was alive, warm, away from any storm. And every day I'd swim outside and get pulled back in by the tide. But things go on. Somewhere along the line, more fish passed by, swimming far from me along the river to the sea beyond the winter. So for once I took a chance and joined them in their coral dance. Started out riding on their coattails, shiny fins and scales that glitter in the rising sun. But winters pass and come the spring. At last we heard the blue whales sing, and it brought me peace of mind to be a member of fish kind. Cycles come and go like leaves upon a lake, and by autumn I was homeward bound. Another reef this time, one with all the friends I'd found and all the ones I've yet to make. Clownfish need their home, but truth be told, a bigger joy than being odd is being one of many weird fish within a pond.
Thank you, Hila. Thank you. I'm now going to turn off the screen sharing. Okay. And thank you to all the award winners. Now that concludes the awards ceremony for the Sagi Young Poets Prize. It's been a pleasure having you all with us, and I do hope that you will all stay for the next part of the program, which is the Reuben Rose Awards ceremony. Meanwhile, we'll take a short, let us say, 3 or 4 minute break, and then we'll reconvene for the Reuben Rose.
Can I just say a couple of words?
Please do.
So I was very impressed by the quality of the poems. I really fulfilled my belief that there's a lot of talent out in Israel. And I think my feeling is, though I haven't had time to study the poems, I think that they're really deep and have much more than meets the eye. So thank you very much. And let's hope that the quality will go up and up. And then we could even have invited all the London schools and showed them that they weren't up to very much.
Okay, thank you very much, Tony. And as I said, so we'll take a break now. And in 3 minutes' time, we will all come back. Meanwhile, I'll still be here, but please, anybody who needs to take a break, now is the time. I'm going to turn off the recording because that is the end of the Sagi segment.